Hey everyone, welcome back to CodeMaarg. In the previous videos, we learned about the different types of constraints that are present, why do we actually need them, what happens if we don't add those constraints to the tables and all. From this video, we will actually start solving problems. We will start from where clause problems and we will also solve all the LeetCode problems that are available regarding the where clause. So now, let's get started. Now that we have understood all the kind of a little basic concepts and all those stuff, now let's solve some questions. Let's solve some questions to understand how different keywords work. Okay, we'll not just see theory, all those stuffs. We will solve questions and understand how those keywords works and all. And if there are any LeetCode questions which can be solved using these keywords, we will also do all those LeetCode questions. So by the end of this entire playlist, you would have completely solved all the non-premium content LeetCode questions, easy, medium, hard, everything. Okay. By the end of this entire playlist, you would have completely solved all the non-premium content LeetCode questions. Okay. Now let's begin. Let's begin by solving questions here and then look up to LeetCode to understand similar kind of questions. Now let's start from very simple questions. Okay, how do you see all the students table data? How do you view the complete students table data? You would do select star from students. When you do select star from students, you will be seeing the entire table data of students. Now you saw entire table data of students. What if you want to see specific columns? You want to see just student name and you want to see his email. You want to just see student name column and email column. What will you do? You will do it as select specify column name. What is the column name? It is student name. What is the other column that you want to see? It is email. From which table? From students table. You see just student name and email. Now what if you want to see student name, join date and department ID as well? Except student ID, what if you want to see all the other columns? You'll just do student name, join date, department ID, email from students. So what columns you want to see in the result, you will specify those columns here and specify from which table do you want to see all those columns from. If you specify star, you will see complete data, meaning complete all column data. If you want to see specific columns, you'll have to specify here. To see the columns that you want to see, you'll have to specify it here and specify the table from which table you want to see all those columns. So this is how you filter columns. Now I will again run select star from students to view the entire data. Now what if you want to see just students who belong to department ID 1? What is department ID 1? We'll do select star from students. What is department ID 1? It is computer science, right? Now this is the entire data that you have. This is the complete students data that you have. What if you want to see just students? You want to filter just students who belong to department ID 1, that is computer science. You want to filter students who belong to just department ID as 1, which is computer science department. Who and all belongs to computer science department? It is Diya, it is Ananya, Sanya, we have Isha, Alice, Frank, Laura, and many other. So we want to filter only the students who belong to computer science department. So what I will do select star from students. What I have to do, I will have to specify department ID 1, where department ID is 1. So where is the keyword which applies filtering? So the where clause is used to filter records in a table. If you want to filter records, if you want to filter rows, here when you do student name, join date and department ID, what were you doing? You were saying that I don't want all column data, I just want to specify, I just want to see only specific column data. So you were giving it as like this. But now am asking you to filter specific rows. I want you to filter specific rows. How do you filter specific rows? Based on some condition. So you will specify that condition after the where clause. What condition you want to see? That condition you will specify after the where clause. So the where clause is used to filter records in a table based on specific condition. Now what is my condition? It is department ID as 1. So what am I doing? Select star from students where department ID is 1. Now this will filter me all the students records who belongs to computer science department. If you see, I have only the data of students who belong to computer science department. Now here I don't want to see all column data. I just want to see student name and department ID. If that is my requirement, then instead of star, what should I give? I should give it as student name, comma department ID, comma department ID. Now if I run, this will give me the list of students who belong to this department ID as 1. So this is how you will use where clause to filter based on a specific condition. Now again, let me just view the complete data. Now, how would you filter? Now my next question is, how do you get the students who joined after a specific date? Let's say 2022-07. I want to filter people. I want to filter students who joined on a specific date, that is 2022-07. I want to get the data of people who joined after 2022-07. Let me phrase it that way. What is my question? I want to get the list of student names who has joined after 2022-07. 1. How can I do that? How will I do that? I will do select star from students where, what am I doing? I am filtering records who has joined after where, what is my condition? My condition is join date greater than 2022-07-01. Let me run this and see. When you see, all the records that you see here are greater than 2022-07-1. This is how you filter. Now you don't want all columns in the data. If you don't want, you will specify what are the columns that you need. I need, let's say, student name. Let's say I need join date as well to see which student has joined on which date, and I also want department ID. I don't want email, I don't want student ID. This is how you filter columns and rows based on a condition. Now my next question is, how do you filter? Okay, my next question is like get student names from department ID as 1 who joined after 2022. Did you understand my question? What is my question? Get the list of students who has joined to department ID as 1, meaning who has joined to computer science department but has also joined after 2022-07-1. Let me just view select star from students to view entire table. What is my ask? My ask is to get the list of students who has joined after 2022-07-01 and who has, let me phrase it better, get the list of students who has joined to computer science department after 2022-07-1. We understood the question, right? I want to get the list of students who has joined to computer science department after 2022-07-1. How would I filter it? Select star from students. Where is the department ID? What do you mean by computer science department? It is department ID is 1 and it says after 2022-07-1. join date greater than 2022-07-01. Here, who is, instead of making it as who has joined to computer science department, I will say who has joined to department who has an ID as 1, because all the test cases, in all the test cases, department ID 1 will not match to computer science department, right? Let us be specific. Now what are we checking? We want to get all the students who has a department ID as 1 and whose join date is 2022-07-1 is greater than 2022-7-1. Let me run this. When you see the department ID is also filtered, join date is also filtered based on the condition. If you want to filter based on multiple condition and all those conditions should work, then you will use AND to join those specific condition, which AND says both conditions must be true. You know, right? Both conditions, department ID should also be 1, join date should also be greater than 2022-7-1. Both conditions should be true. If you are using AND, only then the condition logic works. So this is how you will join different conditions. Now my next question is, I want to, again let me view the complete table. What is my next condition? My next condition is get the students who belong to department 1 or department 2. What is my next condition? Next question. Get the students who belong to department 1 or department 2. How do you do that? You will do select star from students where department ID is equal to 1 or department ID is equal to 2. Any one of the condition can be true. Now you see, if you see department ID is filtered based on either department ID can be 1 or 2. Both conditions need not be true. If any one of the conditions satisfied, if the student belongs to either department ID as 1 or department ID as 2, then the records will be filtered based on it. So if either of the condition is true, then it returns that particular record. So this is how you use OR to join two different conditions, two conditions. Okay, now that we have solved problems on where condition, now let's solve LeetCode problems having where condition. Okay, let's start with big countries. Okay, now this problem, what does this problem expect? There is a table which has a column name and which has a type. Let's see the examples as well. Okay, it is saying a country is considered to be big. It is saying a country is considered to be big if it follows two conditions. If it has an area of at least 3 million or if it has a population of at least 25 million. If either of these conditions matches, then the country is considered to be big. Now what is it expecting? It is expecting us to write a solution to find the name, population and area of the big countries. We have a world table. Which has name, continent, area, population and GDP. Now we will have to filter this world table giving the output of only those countries which is big. How do you find out the countries which is big? It should have an area. We have an area column here. It should have an area of at least 3 million or population. We should specify the where condition between area and population, right? It is asking us if it has an area of at least 3 million, the country is considered to be big. If it has a population of at least 35 million, then the country is considered to be big. So based on these two columns, we'll be specifying the where conditions to filter countries. What we'll do, select, you'll have to select PostgreSQL here because we are solving in that. Select star from what is the name of the table? The name of the table is world. Select star from world where, now what is our where condition? Where area of at least 3 million, where area of at least, I'll just copy this, greater than 3 million, or and. Should I have to use and or should I have to use or? Here it is saying or. If either of the condition matches, then the country is considered to be big. Or population of at least 25 million. Of at least 25 million. At least means that or greater than that. Okay. Now what are the columns that they're expecting us to provide the result? Let me just run this. That's fine. I know it fails. Okay, why is it failing? The output is Afghanistan, Algeria, which is right. But we are also having the records of continent area GDP, which they have not requested. They have requested us to write a solution to find just name, population and area of big countries. But the filtering logic is right. Let's filter then. What are they expecting? Name, population and area. Let's filter name, population and area. Now let's run. It was successful. Let me just submit this. Let me submit. Now the solution was accepted. We understood how to use where condition to solve this problem. Okay. Now that we have understood how to solve this big countries using where, let's move on to the second problem, which is called as not boring movies. It is called as not boring movies. So what is it asking? It is asking you to write a solution to report the movies with an odd numbered ID. Let's see this example. Here we have cinema table, and let's see this example. It is asking you to write a solution to report the movies with an odd numbered ID. What do you mean by odd numbered ID? Which has an ID of a number which is an odd number. So what is the number? We have war, we have Irish, we have house card. Science and ice song has an ID of even number, so we will be ignoring these. What we'll be considering? We'll be considering war with an ID 1, 3 with Irish, house card with an ID of 5. So these are the movies that has an ID of an odd numbered ID, right? Next, what is it asking? With an odd numbered ID and a description. And this is something you'll have to focus. And a description that is not boring. So we will have to filter movies which has an odd numbered ID and also a description that is not boring. So which is the description which is boring here? Irish. Movie Irish is boring, it is saying. So we should ignore this. We should not filter this. So what are the things that we'll have to filter now? War is a movie that has an ID as 1, which is an odd numbered ID, and its description is also not boring. Irish is not, its description is boring, so we will ignore this. House card is an odd numbered ID and its description is also not boring. So we will have to filter war and house card. That is what the output says. We will have to filter war and house card. How do you filter it? Select star from, what is the table name? It is cinema. Select star from which table? Select star from cinema table, where ID should be an odd numbered ID. How do you filter odd numbered ID? I will do ID mod 2 not equal to 0 and description not equal to boring. Here we are using and. This is a symbol that we use in PostgreSQL to denote not equal to. Equal to means equals, right? Not equal to, if you have to do, this is the symbol that you will use. So description should not be equal to boring. This is a symbol which denotes not equal to. So description should not be boring. Also ID also should be an odd numbered ID. ID mod 2 not equal to 0. Let me run. It is failing. It is failing. Why is it failing? We missed another important statement. It is saying return the result table ordered by rating in descending order. Meaning we have filtered the rows properly. We have filtered ID 1, war movie and house card movie. Even the expected result also has house card movie and war movie. What else is it asking? It is asking you to order by rating in descending order. Return the result table ordered by rating. So here we have a column called as rating, and we should order by rating in descending order. If there is something where it is saying ordered by some column, you will use order by keyword. You will use order by keyword. So this is a keyword using which you can order by. Order by rating. DESC. Order by, you will specify the column and then you will continue. If you want to order by ascending order or if you want to order by descending order. Here they are asking order by rating descending order. So we will give it as order by rating DESC. We will run this again, and this time the query should run successfully, and yeah, I'm gonna submit this result. It is accepted, and now let me just go here to see what are the keywords that we have seen till now. We have seen select, we have seen where, we have seen how to use or and, we have seen or and, we have also seen order by keyword. Why do you use order by keyword? If you want to order the result in a specific order, let's say descending order or ascending order with respect to any columns, you will use order by keyword. Now we have solved two questions, big countries, not boring movies. Let's move on to the next question, which is recyclable and low fat products. Recyclable and low fat products. Let's understand what is the question. What is it asking? It is asking us to write a solution to find the IDs of products that are both low fat and recyclable. That are both low fat and recyclable. What is it? This is AND keyword. We should be careful about this. It is AND keyword, and it is saying return the result table in any order, meaning you don't have to order by any column in particular, like descending or ascending order. You can return the result in any order that you want. So you don't have to worry about the order by keyword for this specific problem. What is it asking again? We'll have to find the IDs of products that are both low fat and recyclable. Here we have product ID as 0, which has a low fat, yes, recyclable, no. So will this row, should this row be filtered? No, because it is not recyclable. Product ID 1 is both low fat and recyclable. Product ID 2 is, it is not low fat, so we don't have to filter this record. Again, product ID 3, it's low fat and recyclable. Product ID 4 not. So the only products that are both low fat and recyclable is product ID 1, low fat and recyclable, product ID 3, which is low fat and recyclable. So that is what the expected result is. So what we'll do is select star from which table? What is the table name? Products. Select star from products where low fats is equal to yes, low fat also is yes, and recyclable is also yes. It should be a low fat as well as it should be recyclable. When I run this command, I know it fails. Why does it fail? Because it is asking you to write a solution to find just the IDs. It is asking you to find just the IDs, not the entire table. So what should I do? I should just get the IDs but not the entire table. So select product ID from products where low fats is equal to yes and recyclable is equal to yes. So let's submit the solution, and the solution is accepted. Okay, we saw three problems till now, but that has a solution just by using where. What were those three problems? We saw big countries, we saw not boring movies, we also saw recyclable and low fat products. Now we'll see find customer referee. So what is this problem? It is asking us to find the names of the customer, that are either referred by any customer with ID not equal to 2 or not referred by any customer. Either of the statement has to be true, then the record will be filtered. Both need not be true, and both cannot be true as well in this case. Okay, now what shall we do? We should select something. What is something that we should select? Here they're asking just to find the names of the customer. We'll just have to filter name. Name. From which table are we filtering? We are filtering from customer table. Now what are we filtering? Where referred by any customer with ID not equal to 2 or not referred by any customer. Here if you see this table, let's consider this to be our example table. Will is not referred by anyone, so we should filter this record. Not referred by any customer, we should filter this record. Jane is not referred by anyone, so we will filter this record. Alex is referred by referee ID as 2. So it is saying find the names of customer that are either referred by any customer with ID not equal to 2. So we should not be filtering Alex, because Alex is a customer who is referred by someone who has an ID 2. Let's say Jane. Okay, so we will not filter Alex because it has a referee ID as 2. Bill we will filter because Bill is not referred by anyone, so it is null. We will filter. Zach will filter because Zach is someone who is referred by ID as 1. We can filter. Mark we will not filter because Mark is referred by someone who has an ID as 2. So referred by any customer with ID not equal to 2. Select name from customer where what should not be equal to 2? Referee ID. So this referee ID here should not be equal to 2. If referee ID is 2, it means that the customer is referred by someone who has an ID as 2. Referee ID not equal to 2, or it is saying either, so we should use or not referred by any customer. Not referred by any customer means what? Referee ID not referred by any customer. Not referred by any customer means referee ID should be null. Let's run this query. It is accepted. Okay, let's also submit this code. Okay, we saw how to solve this problem. One mistake that beginners can do is, here it was saying it says not referred by any customer. Not referred by any customer means referee ID should be null. So some people will do something like this in beginner stage. Referee ID should be null, something this way. So this will throw a syntax error maybe. Okay, it says invalid input syntax for type integer null. So how should you filter? If you want to filter values based on null, you should be using referee ID is null. Referee ID is null. What you should be using? Referee ID is null. Is null keyword you should be using. Let me add this to our keywords list. What did we saw? We saw is null. This is how you will be filtering null based values. Is null. Okay, we saw 4 different problems. We saw find customer referee, big countries, not boring movies. We also saw recyclable and low fat products. We'll see the last problem, that is article views. Okay, now let's see what this problem is asking us. Article views 1, it is asking us to write a solution to find all the authors that viewed at least one of their own articles. Meaning we will have to get the solution of all the authors who has viewed their own article at least one time. We'll have to find the authors who has viewed their own articles at least once. Okay, and it is also asking us to return the result table sorted by ID in ascending order. It is asking us to return the result table sorted by ID in ascending order. Okay, before getting here, let's see the example. We have views table here. Okay, we also have We have article ID. Article ID says which article was viewed. We have author ID, who wrote that article. Viewer ID, who is viewing that article. View date, on which date that particular article is being viewed. So who wrote the article is author ID, who is viewing is viewer ID, which article is he viewing is article ID, and on which particular date he or she is viewing is view date. So on this particular date, this viewer, on this particular date, this viewer viewed an article 1 which was written by an author who has an ID 3. So this is what each record will denote. This is what each record will denote. On this particular date, this person viewed an article which was written by this particular author. This is what each record says us. Now let's see how we can filter the author who has viewed his or her own article. How do you do that? When author ID and viewer ID are same, then it means that the author has viewed his own article, right? When the author ID and viewer ID are same, then it means that that author is viewing his own article. That is what it means. Let's filter it. Select star from which table? Views table, where author ID is equal to viewer ID. Should we select everything? We should select just author ID. We should select just author ID. It is also asking us to return the result table sorted by ID in ascending order. How do you sort? Order by which column? Order by author ID column. In which order? In ascending order. Okay, let's run this. It failed. Why did it fail? It failed because the column name here is author ID and in the expected result it is as ID. If the column name in the output is same as the expected result output, you use as keyword. As keyword is something like you are giving another name to the column. What is the name? It is expecting output to be as ID. So author ID as ID. Now when I do this, author ID becomes ID. Let's run. Again it is failing. Why is it failing? Because here we have we have 3 results. Here we just have 2 results. Okay, here we should use distinct keywords to just get the output of authors who are distinct, meaning we don't want duplicate results in the final order. We don't want duplicate results in the final result table. How do you remove duplicate? You will use something called as distinct keyword. Let me add this distinct. We also saw as. So what? Why is distinct keyword used? You don't want duplicate results in the table. That is the reason why you use distinct. Now let's see. This should pass, and it passed. Let us submit this. It's accepted. How many problems we saw? We saw find customer referee, where referee ID should not be equal to 2 or null. We saw big countries. We saw not boring movies. We saw article views. We also saw recyclable and low fat products. So, in this video, we completely understood how to solve where related problems. From the next video, we will move on to joins and start understanding different types of joins. If you have understood what's in this video, like, share and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to click on the bell icon to receive notifications. And thanks for watching this video till the end. Bye-bye. Never stop learning. We will catch up in the next one.